Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. It's time for another reliability ride breakdown. I'm going to get stuck straight into it, but if you enjoy this sort of thing, please do hit the subscribe button down below. Right, let's get stuck in. You join me on the CycleDivison reliability ride. This is 3 20-mile laps, supposedly progressive, and it was pretty much like that, but let's get stuck straight into it. This clip is from the second lap. Unfortunately, I had a few GoPro issues on the third lap, so this is the only real footage I've got, but it covers a fair few good moments of the ride. Now you can see here that I am fourth in the line. We're on the front of a reasonable sized group, probably 20-25 riders, and we're riding like a hard group ride. Now people go on reliability rides for different reasons. There are lots of people on this ride who are just out for a nice social ride, or they're out for a hard training ride, but not treating it like a race. And we are on open roads, but I can only share the experience that I've witnessed because I've been there. So this isn't representative of the whole field at reliability ride, but it is representative of the ride that I had. Now that on the right there is Adam Kenway, ex-national hill climb champion. I'm sure I don't need to tell you any more about him, but as we know, I love Adam Kenway. Other riders of note in attendance, people like Dan Fleeman, who's an ex-pro, now works in the women's pro peloton and Drift Academy. Who else is there? Dan Barnes, he won the road race that I organised last year. He rode for Spectra Wiggle Vitus, was it? It's a Cannondale team this year, does a lot of cross racing, basically a fair few like either good or like domestic elite riders. Now I'm here for a real good workout. I'm here with my friend Dan, who's a club mate. He's somewhere else in the group as well, and I'm on the front here and I'm getting stuck in, aren't I? I'm in a little, I don't think it was a real breakaway, but it seemed to be like sometimes there were like 5 or 6 people on the front would get in a little chain gang and try and push it on quite hard, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to gain much experience or much fitness just through sitting in the bunch and then waiting to inevitably get dropped at some point. I want to get in the mix, and if that means that I overcook it and I get dropped, that's absolutely fine. I'm there for just a training ride. This is not a race. We are on open roads and we are riding sensibly. So this guy on the left here just pulls through. You can see the range of bikes people are on. Some people are on race bikes, some people are on winter bikes. It's just a real mix, really. Now, who else do we know here? Nobody at the minute. Sorry that my GoPro is pointed down. I think I hit a pothole and it just angled down ever so slightly, but we'll have to guess who people are based on the bikes that they're riding, which isn't the easiest thing to do when you don't know the group. So my maximum heart rate is about 175 beats a minute, so I'm not a million miles off of that. I'm certainly not feeling fresh. I've had a good training week leading up to this point, but that's all people use this sort of thing for. It's a good hard training ride. Nobody's like tapering into it, I don't think. So yeah, I'm trying to stick towards the front of this group and just get involved. I knew it was going to pick up on the second lap, and I just wanted to try and position myself well so that I could end up in a strong group, or in the strongest group that I could ride with, and just get some experience from it really, and just, you know, ride with some different riders. Person in the green jersey up there on the right hand side is a gentleman called Jono. We rode with him at another reliability ride a few weeks before. He rides for the team We Buy Cycle, who are going to be a bit more present in the racing scene this year. I will leave him to share that on his socials very soon, and hopefully I'm going to be involved in some way on the video side. I'm not good enough to be on his bike team just yet, but who knows. Why was that last section so hard? I think that's because Adam was on the front and then he's just slotted back in there. And it's just a little bit of jiggery pokery. Some people not wanting to pull through, some people do want to pull through it. It is just a training ride, just navigating our way around this tractor. So yeah, just getting stuck in now. What's my heart rate now? 165, slight gradient. I'm having to push on a bit here just to stay with the group, but it wasn't flat out. I'd gone hard for a few minutes, but I knew that it wasn't going to be absolutely like on rails. Now this part is actually quite hard, so as soon as it gets spiking over like 1-2%, I really have to work hard to stay on the group. But yeah, feeling good. The entire ride ended up being about 3 hours, and I normalised about 280 odd watts. I might put those stats on screen now, but we've still got plenty of stuff to go, plenty of stuff to happen here. So I'm just watching what's happening at the front, trying to keep an eye on what's happening, just riding with different people, riding close to riders, following the lines they're following, and also just watching what they're doing. So I was following on the first lap, and later on in the second lap, which I don't get on video, I followed Jono from We Buy Cycle quite a lot, and I noticed that he wasn't following every single wheel or every single little nudge people have held off the front. He was obviously looking at the rider and thinking, do I need to follow that or do I not? And that's something I'm definitely going to take away from this ride. You don't need to go chasing off after every single person. I'm on the front here, pulling through, taking a decent turn, because I know that that's how I'm going to get the experience. And Adam coming through on the left there. I'm not going to get the experience by just sitting in the bunch and just watching everybody else do this. People with bar bags on aero bikes, I don't quite get it, but who knows. That on the left there, that's Dan Fleeman. I absolutely love that bike, genuinely. He had the helmet, he had the full kit, obviously because he works for the team, but that is a bit of me. I absolutely love that. A few years ago, I did buy the women's colours Canyon Tram racing kit, and all my mates gave me stick. I loved the look of it, so that's what I will do. Ramping up over a little hill here, just kicking on to get over the top. I don't want to lose my position too much, and then I think we jump forward to a little bit later in the ride. Now here again, it's just stretching out the front. I've got great visibility, so I'm just coming around a few riders there, just squeezing onto the front because I want to try and make that gap. That rider there kicks onto that wheel, and that's what I tried to do, but I just haven't got the gas to get on that wheel. I'm pushing a bit too much wind for my liking. We're doing 31 miles an hour, so even if there's a tailwind, it's still going to be pretty hard into the wind. I'm losing out by not being on that wheel. I'm pushing out more energy than I need to, but that's just another lesson for me. I should have tried to snap harder or push harder onto that wheel initially when I saw him go, but sometimes the mind and the body aren't as connected as you like them to be, and then when it comes back together here, I think it just eases up a little bit. Sometimes you catch a group like that and people are working really well and you're making great progress, and sometimes it just eases up a bit, so you never really know until you get there, but I think you've just got to put yourself in that position to actually get there. And also, that's a big effort. I need to recover a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, I'm trying to just decide how hard the second lap is going to be and whether I do need to save some gas or whether I'm okay to commit something to it. At this point, I think I was thinking, do I sort of nudge on a little bit and try and press on at the front, but I knew that we were roughly halfway through this ride and that I'm not fit enough to do that for the entirety of the ride, so I thought I'd better keep my powder dry where possible. Fueling wise, I didn't drink too much on this ride. It was pretty cool, but I did eat about 100 grams of carbs an hour, and I felt fueled all the way to the end. It's the best I've ate on a ride in ages, and it's hard to get it down, but when there was an easier bit like this, I would be ramming gels, chews, anything I could down my neck, and yeah, before I knew it, I'd done about 300 grams of carbs, so that's definitely what I need to do going forward. Here, I'm just sitting on this guy's wheel. I know there's a couple of riders slightly up the road, but they don't look like they're going anywhere, so I'm just chilling out a little bit, just recovering. I don't really know the course, I don't really know where we're going, so I don't know what else is going to happen, but we are shortly going to get attacked by ex-National Hill Climb champion Adam Kenway. Is it now? Is it a little bit later? I think it's very soon. And spoiler alert, I don't quite have the gas to go with him. It looks like the footage is sped up when he comes past. I think this happens in a second. Oh no, not that, that's somebody else. But it is not the case. It is not sped up. It is just the case of me not having the kick to go with people. So here, I'm still doing 300 watts. I'm still pressing on a little bit. I'm not actually taking it easy, but I know that I don't need to drill myself on the front now. There are now 3 or 4 riders up the road. Just keeping an eye on it. I'd like to think I'm in good position, so if somebody comes past me, then I can jump on their wheel and follow that ride across to those few riders up the road. But it's not always as easy as that, especially when you can't see people coming. And then I think, wham bam, any second now I get jumped and Adam and a few others get up the road. There we go, so that's Adam Kenway attacking, and that is not sped up. I'm doing 18 miles an hour and those riders are going a fair bit faster than me, and I need to get out of the saddle and get some power down and get onto their wheel. You can see there I just didn't react fast enough. 700 watts and I've still lost about 8 places. I do manage to get on this rider's wheel and go with that group, but I've gone from the front to the back there. That wasn't great, but that's just the difference between me and proper riders. Like, they've just got that kick to be able to create that gap, and I don't, but there you go. And that was pretty much how the second lap went. The third lap got harder. I did actually follow Adam on the attack, and I'm gutted because the camera wasn't working, but he did give me advance notice of it, so I had a bit of a heads up to follow him through. But yeah, great ride, great training day. Get out on a reliability ride if you can, if you fancy it, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. See you later.